Welcome, thank you for joining. This practice is going to be one to reduce or transform negativity, anger, reactivity, and negative emotions in general. It's really good for reducing Pitta. So if you know the Ayurvedic doshas of Pitta, Kapha, and Vata, Pitta is the one that is quite fiery, and when out of balance results in anger, irritability, a lot of judgment and criticism on self and other. So even if you don't understand Ayurvedic doshas, this is a great class if any of those things are ever a problem for you, which I'm guessing for most of us they are. So probably pretty good for everybody. It reduces heat, and the meditation and pranayama we do at the end is specifically for transforming negativity. So welcome. Two great things to have is a block. And if you don't have a block, you can just grab a stack of books or something like that to have handy, particularly if hamstrings are tight. And maybe to a lesser extent, a strap. Again, you could use a towel or a blanket or something like that. This is Eb, our beautiful demonstrator. And we are going to begin on our backs today to settle into some breathing. Yep, so make a bridge-like position, feet flat on the floor. And we're going to really, the whole practice actually, we're going to be mostly working with belly breathing. So Eb, go ahead and take your hands to the belly. And we don't want to be on the ribs, we want to be lower where we can actually feel the belly expand. And if you kind of meet that place where the ribs end and the belly starts, that's the home of the diaphragm. And this is, the movement of the diaphragm is what makes our belly expand and contract. So when we breathe in, that's an active process where the diaphragm moves down, pushes into the abdominal organs and they expand or rise up. And then as we breathe out, that's the relaxed part of breathing. The diaphragm just tucks back in under the ribs. So when we focus on breathing at the belly, this is the relaxing or parasympathetic side of things. And when we breathe into the chest, that's the kind of the accelerator or the sympathetic, or brings fire in. But since we want to reduce fire today, we're going to be focusing mostly on belly breathing. So allow yourself to really be with the belly breath. Using this time to let awareness settle in to right here to the body. This kind of breathing with the belly is what we're doing when we're asleep or unconscious. So it's not about forcing more breath in and making the belly expand. It's actually about relaxing more so the belly can just do its thing. So see if you can see that for yourself. If you relax more, the belly expands more. Releasing any muscles that are holding. Full belly breaths. For a Pitta style of person, we want to approach yoga really from an easeful and accepting place. Pittas tend to be striving and judgmental in nature. So particularly in this kind of practice, we want to come at things from a non-competitive, curious, open and receptive mindset. So just access that now, make a commitment to that, just as we take our last few abdominal breaths. Great, and then pull knees into the chest and just have a little wiggle. Just checking into the state of the sacrum and the back. And then we're just going to take an easy twist. So arms out wide, palms facing up, both shoulders grounded as you drop the knees over to the right on an exhale. Just take a few breaths here, staying with the belly breath. So really placing your attention in the belly, letting it fully expand. Full awareness on the belly and staying with that kind of easeful, curious mindset. Now the next breath in, come back through center. And on your breath out, just take it to the other side. Bring awareness back to the belly breath. Next breath in, come back through center, and then we're just going to come over to hands and knees, however that makes sense to you. We're just going to quickly do a little cat-cow, so inhaling, arching the spine, chest lift, tailbone lifts, and exhaling that way. So inhale, that's it, dropping belly. And exhale, rounding spine. And if you want to move side to side or any other movements, just gently warming up chest, shoulders, and hips. Just a few breaths here. Perfect. And then come to stillness. Next, we're going to do a 4-part movement. So the first of the 4-part is just here on hands and knees, and we breathe in here. You can watch for this first one if you want to. And then as we exhale, we take it back to child's pose. So butt to the heels, hands stay out in front. Next breath in, we come back to all fours. And then on the exhale is back to down dog. All right, so now you can join in. Inhale, come to hands and knees. And exhale back to child's. Inhale, hands and knees. Exhale back to down dog. Just hold the down dog for a couple seconds now, and you can have a wiggle if you like to do that. But for the rest of the practice, most of the poses we do is going to be on a 4-count inhale and a 6-count exhale. So I'll demonstrate what I mean by that. You can come along if you want. So Eb, as you breathe in, come to hands and knees, but we're going to do 4, 3, 2, 1. Child's pose, exhale, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hands and knees, 4, 3, 2, 1. And back down dog, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Keep moving. So we breathe in for the 4 and we match the movement. So the movement's a little faster. And then as we go child's pose, we move in slow motion so that it takes the whole 6 count to end up with butt at heels. We're going to do 2 more. Now your 4 and 6 count might be slower or faster than mine. We want to be challenging ourselves, but not suffocating. And really the most important thing is that your awareness is fully 100% on the breath and that the exhale is longer than the inhale. Good, so we should be about coming up to hands and knees and then exhaling back to down dog, taking the full 6 counts, but then holding in down dog. And we're going to continue that 4-count inhale and 6-count exhale while in stillness. So we're not moving the body, the only thing moving is the breath. So if you are used to doing a lot of flowy yoga, it's quite a challenge to continue to hold. But we really want to be here in this down dog for about 5 rounds of breath, 4 in, 6 out. And the reason we do this long hold yoga that we'll be doing today is so that we can see any reactivity arise, and then we just hold firm, staying as still as we can, allowing the desire for movement to come up, allowing heat in the body to come up, allowing burning in the hips or whatever it is to come up, and then we let ourselves know that we can hold through any of that. The mind is relaxed, jaw, shoulders are relaxed. We even try to keep the eyes still, the fingers still, resisting any urge to escape from the unpleasantries that might be happening. Let's take one more round of breath. Full in, full out. And then you can walk up to the front of the mat. And a nice luxurious fold, so knees can be super bent. And then we're going to do 3 rounds of half lifting and folding forward. So as you breathe in, half lift, so upper body is 90 degrees to the bottom. Good, and then exhale, fold forward. 2 more. I really want you to pay attention to the belly breath as you rise up and fold forward. Last one, big rise. We really want to take the shoulder blades away, chin stays tucked. And when we fold in, it's chest to thighs. So bend the knees as much as you need to. Now stay in the forward fold, and you can just take hands to the floor, around the ankles. What we want here is length through spine. So as you can see, what Eb is doing perfectly here is to keep length in the spine. She's letting the knees be bent. If you can straighten your legs completely and not round the spine, go for it, but most of us can't do that. So really, this practice is mostly about length through spine, slow, deep belly breathing, and full awareness on the breath. Next time you come to the end of your exhale, Eb, take your hands to hips. And then as you breathe in, rise up, strong legs. Keep the chin tucked to chest a little bit. And then as you exhale, release the hands. You can lift the chin slightly and just close the eyes and feel into the body. A lot of today's class will be forward folds, and this builds a type of prana called apana vayu. This is a calming and grounding energy, perfect for pittas. And perhaps you can even sense that now, that calmness, the grounding. The more we pay attention to the breath and to what we're doing, the more we'll generate this type of energy. Awesome. All right, now we're going to stand wide. So nice and wide. You can take the whole mat. Yep. Toes could be turned in slightly more than the heels. It's not a super big deal with this one. And feel free to bend the knees as much as you need to when we go into the fold. But before we do anything, we're just going to take hands to the back of the hamstrings, kind of like below the butts. Take a big breath in. And we're going to fold forward as we exhale. Hands are going to just run all the way down the legs. Bend the knees as much as you need to. Chin stays checked, keeping that length through spine. Good. Coming up to stand, breathe in. Right hand raises to the sky at the top of the inhale. And then as we exhale, we're going to side bend over to the left. Good. As we breathe in, we come back to standing. Hands go behind the butt again. And as we exhale, we fold forward. Super simple movements. Keeping the awareness 100% in what's happening. Breathing in, coming back to standing. This time the left arm will rise. Yep. And then side bending over to the right as we exhale. Inhale, come back to standing. This time we're going to start to add the count in. So 6 count, exhale down. 4 count up. 3, 2, 1, and fold. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Wide fold. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Rise. 4, 3, 2, 1, and bend. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Up. 4, 3, 2, 1. Forward fold. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Stay folded this time. Keep breathing. 4 in, 6 out, but hold in the forward fold. These can be as bent as you need to, and or if you prefer straight legs, you could always put your hands on a block. However you need to do it to keep the spine long and straight, your whole priority here is on those deep breaths. 4 in and the nice long 6 out. If you want to, now is a good time to start to explore possibly adding a 1 or 2 count pause at the end of the exhale. So it'd be a 4 count inhale, 6 count out, 1 or 2 count pause, letting there be some space where nothing is moving, not the body and not even the breath. Beautiful. And next, exhale, hands come up to hips. Strong legs, rise on an in-breath. Keep that chin tucked. That's really important so we prevent a little bit of dizziness. And then exhale, release the hands, relax the head, and just hold and feel a couple breaths. And checking in. Can you feel that grounded calmness from Apana Vayu? Okay, beautiful. Next pose we're going to set up into a warrior two. And so take your left foot here, turn it in slightly. Right one will be pointing to the wall. Wonderful. And we want to be quite wide here as we bend into our warrior two. Knee is going to be exactly over the ankle so we can widen the stance if that doesn't happen. And we want to take care that the knee is moving out, not in, so we can see the big toe. Awesome. Body is facing that way. Hands are up. And gaze is over the front middle finger. We want to tuck this hip under and we want to be really strong and straight through the back leg. But now we want see how your knee turned in when that happened? Yes. Okay, good. And relax the shoulders by flipping the hands up, bending through the elbows like we have a nice little tea candles in our hands. That's it. And we're going to do a little flow again, a dynamic movement through reverse triangle and extended side angle. So as you breathe in, straighten front leg, reverse your triangle, arm reaches up. And as you exhale, extended side ankle. So bending through the front leg, forearm comes to thigh, and left arm reaches up and over. Straight arm, that's good. All right, and then we keep doing that 3 more times. Inhale, reverse triangle. Let's add the count. Exhale, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Reverse triangle, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. And 2 more in time with your own breath. So this is a little more of a challenge as we build heat through the right hip. So that 4 and 6 count, let that really be your own, lengthening it out as best you can. You can explore too, putting a pause at the end of the exhale while you're holding in extended side angle. But please, if you feel like you're suffocating, honor your flow. Great, and then the next time you move into extended side angle, you're going to hold there. We're going to stay in stillness. Only thing moving is the breath. So 4 count in, 6 count out still. You can play with that pause at the end of the exhale. Holding really still. Being aware even of the stillness of the eyes, stillness of the fingers. And being attentive and almost waiting for any reactivity to arise. You might be screaming to move. You might be having thoughts of hatred towards me. You might just want to turn this video off and go have some lunch. Whatever it is, just let it come up, see it for what it is, and stay. Just stay where you are. This is how we build resilience, non-reactivity, how we lessen our internal fire or negativity. All right, and whenever your next breath is, no need to hurry there. You can rise back up, turn that right foot in, release the hands and just stand in a wide stance and just feel the body. Awesome. And then we'll go the other side. So turning left foot forward, right foot turns in slightly as you bend in, check your width. Knee directly over ankle. And ideally, eventually, we want this thigh to be actually quite flat, so it's 90 degrees, but you just go wherever you can to start. Great, arms out. Gaze over front middle finger, turning the hands. She's beating me to it. Beautiful. Wonderful, and then we're going to start to move. So inhale, reverse triangle. And exhale, extended side angle. Right, add the count. Breathing in 4, 3, 2, 1. And exhale 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. In 4, 3, 2, 1. Out 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 2 more in your own pace. So challenging yourself as best you can, also honoring any kind of claustrophobia that comes up, and exploring adding a little pause at the end of your extended side angle if that's okay for you. Right, and then as we come into this one, we're going to hold, resting the forearm on the thigh. Chest opens to the sky, of course, in our extended side angle. You can keep the chin tucked though. Keeping the chin tucked offers a little more calmness and maintains or contains the prana within the body. And then being on the alert for reactivity as it arises. Just noticing what comes up. Thoughts of wanting to move, associations with the heat, potentially in the thigh that might be telling you it's too much, and just allow it to rise. Let it be there. Teaching yourself that you don't have to react to what comes up in the mind. Pittas tend to follow around their fiery thoughts and act on them to judge self and other. So when we hold long poses, we really teach ourselves to be still, to remain, to be calm, to be steady, to be cool. Beautiful. Next breath in, come up. Turn that, actually this time step to the front of the mat. Step to the front of the mat, release the hands, relax. And then go ahead and fold forward just so we can ground out. The forward fold is the most grounding thing we can do. So just hang in whichever fold feels right to you, hands around ankles, holding onto elbows, whatever it is. Really deep bend in the knees, super relaxed fold. This style of Tantra Hatha is not around so much the form of the body, but more how we can use these vayus or these states of prana to create what we desire. So in this class, we're creating calmness, stability, ease, coolness. Good, just a couple more breaths. End of the next exhale, hands to hips. Rise up on a breath in, keeping the chin tucked. And release the hands. Beautiful. Feel into that Apana Vayu. Can you feel the groundedness, the calm? Awesome. All right, we're going to move into a kind of a dynamic pyramid pose. So keep the right foot where it is. Step the left foot back. Yep, and we're going to be quite hip width distance. I want us to be really stable. So you can walk that right leg out a little bit. That's perfect. We want the back heel to stay grounded. So go into a warrior one for a moment. So bend into the front knee. Yep, and if the back heel lifts, then you might need to shorten the stance. So bring the feet closer together, but yours is fine, so that's good. All right, straighten the front leg for me. We're going to take the right hand behind the back. We're going to lift the left arm up to the sky. And that right hand is the reminder to keep the spine long and straight. Good. So take a breath in for 4. Exhale, fold forward. You can bend the front knee a little, but pyramid is traditionally very straight leg. And we only go so far as the bicep can go. You probably need to breathe in again, don't you? So come up. Good. And then exhale back down. Bicep stays by the ear. If you can reach the floor with the bicep staying by the ear, if your hamstrings are really open, that's great. Good. Breathe in, come up. Otherwise, what Ebba's doing is really perfect too. So 2 more like that. Exhale, folding forward. Let's do 6 on the exhale. And 4 on the breath in. And again, exhale forward over 6. You can even explore adding a 1 or 2 count pause at the end. And inhale, come back up. Let's do one more, why not? Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, come up. And then as you fold forward on this next one, take your whole 6 count to come down. And then we're going to release the hand, so you can take the right hand down. A block can be really handy here, or you can take the right hand to the shin. If you can touch the floor, that's great, but priority is on really square hips and length through spine. That's perfect. You can also put a chair or something underneath the hands if your hamstrings are really tight. So we're continuing with the 4 count in breath and the 6 count out breath, but we're doing it in stillness. Chin nicely tucked, length through the spine, super square hips. And then leg can be slightly bent or completely straight. How's your breathing? Really feel into the belly expanding. Definitely explore a 1 or 2 count pause at the end of the exhale if that feels good. 100% attention on the body and the breath. Awesome. At the end of your next exhale, hands to hips. Strong legs, rise up on a breath in. Keep the chin tucked to chest. And release the hand, step to the front, exhale. Good. Just hold and feel. Pyramid is also a forward fold. So just noticing, is there that grounded calmness? Even if you've never heard the word Apana Vayu before, you may still be able to feel its effects. Awesome. And then we're going to do the other side. So step right foot back this time. And we can do that same little check. We can get the hips feet nice and wide, hips square. And then bend into the front leg for your warrior 1 and just see, does the back heel lift? If it does, you could readjust, maybe pulling it in a little bit. Exactly, you got it. All right, then straighten the front leg. Take the opposite hand to the sky. So left hand behind the back, right one to the sky. Big breath in. Exhale, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. In, 4, 3, 2, 1. Out, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. And 3 more in your own time. Keeping that bicep by the ear. Keeping the hips square. If you're almost to the floor, you can pop a block in front of the hands, so you can tap the block if that's important to you. Otherwise, just really honoring where your body is at. Modern yoga is so much around flexibility and looking good, but really traditional classical yoga and this Tantra Hatha, it's not about flexibility, it's about stability of mind, stability of energy. Good, last one, come on up. I think we did an extra on the other side. Good, and a big, long, slow exhale out. We're gonna hold this time, so grab your block, release the left hand, and then find somewhere to put the hands. They can even be on, you can even have both hands on your shin, something simple like that. Even if you are folding only here in your pyramid, that's totally fine. Continuing, square your hips up just a little bit more. There you go. And then continuing with the 4 in, 6 out breath. Even potentially exploring a couple of counts on the end of the exhale. 100% attention on the breath in the body. And over the next exhale, hands to hips. Rise up, strong legs on an in-breath, chin stays tucked. And then exhale, step to the front, release the hands, relax the head and feel. Now we're just going to have a little bit of fun, a little bit of heat, a little bit of stability. So what we're going to do is we're going to drop the 4-6 breath and we're going to move into an even count breath. So what we're going to do, I'll come back here so I don't get in your way. You're going to do warrior 3. So warrior 3, we're going to put weight into the right leg and then hands just to heart center. We're going to do kind of a modified, easier version, and we're just going to lift the left leg behind us. Eventually we want to come to 90 degrees in the body, but wherever you are is fine. Good. Length through the spine. Tuck your chin a little more, Ed. And even breath. We're just doing 5 breaths. That's it. As big as you can in, as big as you can out. Feeling the belly expand. That's it. All right. So then grab that block, Ed. Take your left hand to the floor onto the block. The block will be about a foot in front of you. And just to the left side a little bit. We're going to come into a revolved half moon. So first option would just be to take that right hand to hip. Good. Second option would be to start to lift that right hand up to the sky. Beautiful. Third option would be to start to look towards the video. Yeah, balance is the most important thing. So if looking takes you off balance, then look back down to the floor. What we're trying to do is really twist through the belly. And I want you to feel your belly as you breathe. And that's probably enough. One more big breath and then start to unwind on an inhale and release that left leg back to the floor. Good. Come up to standing, relax the hands, tuck the chin, and just feel. Beautiful. And let's go to the other side. So first, just warrior 3, hands at heart center. Put the weight into the left foot and lift the right behind you. What's important here is square hips, long straight spine, tuck that chin, and then 5 big breaths, focusing on the belly, even breaths for stability. Great, and we're going to move into the revolved half moon. So right hand onto the block. First option is left hand just to the hip and start to twist through the belly, or lift left hand to the sky. Yeah, so we're really looking at a twist from the belly. It's really quite a challenge at first, but the twisting poses give us samana vayu, which is a balancing kind of an energy, which matches the even breath. So just a couple more, you can do it. And as gently as you can, unraveling from the twist on an in-breath, and then release the right foot to the floor. Rise up, release the hands, and again, just stand and feel. Good. And just to ground down, take your feet about the width of the mat. And just go ahead and do a nice fold forward once again. You can bend the knees if you need to. Just folding, releasing, taking 5 big belly breaths here. I want you to really feel the belly expand and contract. Release the head, release the shoulders. Big belly breaths. Awesome. Plant the palms and step back to a nice plank. And lower all the way down to the floor. However you want to get there, it's not important. And we're going to do now a dynamic shalabhasana, which is it's going to be another balancing energy here because we're going to do one leg and one hand at a time. You might want to watch if you've never done this before. And we're just going to start with hands only, okay? So take your hands to your back, to the small of your back, palms upward, and head to the right cheek. Good. Okay. We're going to start with the right hand. We're going to bring the right hand up as you lift the chest, forehead goes square to the floor. Exactly. Exhale, hand back to the back and cheek to the other side. Inhale, arm up, chest up, head square, chin stays tucked. Exhale, hand behind the back. This time we're going to incorporate the legs. Right hand, left leg lift, forehead to the floor, chin tucked. Exhale, drop everything down. Good. Other side. Good. And 3 more each side in time with your breath. Even breaths. Big in, slow out. This is another balancing kind of energy and also pushes into the belly a little bit for a nice fiery back bend. 2 more each side. And is that about it or one more? That's it. Yeah, so relax. Beautiful. Take a few breaths, head to one side or just forehead down. You can even release your hands by your side. And if your head is on one cheek, just switch it to the other for a few more breaths so we're nice and even. And then take it back to child's pose. Just take a few breaths here. Grounding by feeling the belly expand onto the thighs or between the thighs. Just give it 5 more of those big belly breaths. We're going to take it to pigeon via down dog. So get yourself into a down dog for me, however you want to do that. You might need to come up a bit. There we go. Awesome. And then we're just going to bring that right leg through to pigeon. So we're going to take right knee to right hand and left ankle towards left hand. It's okay if the shin is at 45 degrees. And before we fold down, just get those hips really square. So sometimes you can pop a little block or something under here. And then take a big breath in. Length through the spine is really important. And then we fold forward. So most people or many people can't get this hip to the floor. And that's where we put a bolster or a pillow or something underneath. If this pose is not okay for you at all, then you can roll onto your back. Put your right ankle on left shin and then pull through with your hands for a reclined pigeon. And then we want our palms open, so we're not clenching the hands, so we can either have them open like this on the floor or making a pillow for the head. But we want to be really quite relaxed through shoulders and hands. There's no need to go further than you can. Big, deep belly breath. Just about 3 more. Hands back to the floor, and however you get there, back to down dog. So you could tuck the back toes, step back, and just have a little wiggle if you need to, bending the knees, shaking out the hips. That's it. Good. And then the other side. And again, you can prop up underneath the left hip this time, Spine straight and long, big breath in. And then folding forward. You can either pop something under your chest or under your head to help you. And wherever you have the hands, just make sure they're relaxed. Palms open, up or down, doesn't matter. Bringing awareness back to the belly as you take your big breaths in, big breaths out, even breaths. And the goal here still is to have 100% awareness in the breath and the body, to have that calming breath. So if you need to use more props, more cushions, more support to do that, then that's recommended. Just 3 more breaths. Good, and then coming back, actually this time sit onto the left hip, swing right leg around so you're just seated. Perfect. I'm going to sit with you actually so we can do the 2 different styles. We're going to do a spinal twist. We're going to do Ardha Matsyendrasana. Eb's going to do that one and I'm going to do the modification. So Ardha Matsyendrasana is left heel under the right leg and then right leg over. But we want to be able to have both glutes firmly on the floor for this one and the big toe. So if you can't do that, you can do this modified version that I'm doing, which is left leg straight out in front and right leg over. The right leg could even be here like so. So I'll do that one, that's even better. All right, so then right hand goes behind to support, left arm reaches up, we straighten the spine on an in-breath, and then exhale, we're just gonna wrap the right leg and come around. And what we're looking for is to feel the belly against the inside of the right thigh. Spine long and straight. You can twist a little more on each out breath. That's not necessary. Keep the chin tucked and then just stay 100% attention on the belly breath. I mentioned before, twists generate the kind of energy called samana vayu. This is the balancing and assimilating force in the body. So apana grounds and calms, and samana digests, assimilates and balances. And the more we pay attention to the breath, the more we generate these subtle forces. So staying with the belly as it expands and contracts against that right thigh. And on your next breath in, unraveling. And then we're just going to sit. And see if you can feel into that balancing samana vayu. And then the other side. So this time it's going to be right heel under the left leg and left leg up and over. Or if you're taking the easier variation, right leg out straight and left leg bent in front. Left hand comes behind to support, right arm reaches up, spine long and straight and tall. And then as we exhale, we just wrapping that thigh and twisting to the left. We want to be twisting from the belly. What's important is to feel that belly start to come to the inside of the left thigh. And take your breaths big so they push into the leg. Keep the chin tucked. You can turn a little more on each breath out, but not necessary. What is necessary is 100% awareness on the breath and body. I'm gonna unravel on a breath in. And then just uncross the legs and have a little seat, feeling into the body. All right. Next one we're going to do together as well, I think, because I'll show you, I have really tight hamstrings. So for me, this next pose is best done with a little bit of a cushion or a blanket underneath the glutes. We're going to do Paschimottanasana, so that's legs straight out in front. So you can support yourself with a bolster as I'm doing in order to have a forward tilt of the pelvis. The other thing you can do is bent knees. And then we're going to do Paschimottanasana today with a chant of Om. You don't have to chant, but I'm going to do it. You're welcome to join in verbally or silently. So inhale, arms reach up. And as we fold forward, we're going to do so just from the hips, and we're going to take chest towards thighs. Bend the knees as much as you need to keep biceps by the ears as you fold forward. Good, and then breathing in, come back up. And on this next exhale, we're going to Om. Om. And again. Last one, a silent Om as you fold forward. Hands come to ankles or toes. And we just hold in the forward fold. Legs are bent as much as they need to be. Spine super long and straight. Staying with big breaths. Maybe even with a lengthened exhale. Really staying present to the breath at the belly. Couple more deep breaths. And then you're simply going to lay back to Shavasana. You can take a blanket, pillow under the knees if you need to. If the lower back is a little sore from Paschimottanasana, you could do a bridge and just do about 3 or 4 ups and downs, followed by pulling your knees into your chest for a couple of breaths. Yeah. Or if it feels okay, you can go straight to Shavasana. Covering yourself up, getting comfy. Feeling the body heavy against the floor. And being completely aware of the belly breath. Just for about 5 or 6 breaths. And then you can stay with the belly breath if that works for you, or you can release the awareness of the mind to relaxation too. Nothing to do but rest here in the stillness. Gently come back to feeling the belly breath. Noticing the weight of the body on the floor. Being fully aware of this transition back to wakefulness. So you start to wiggle fingers and toes. Making any other movements that feel right, a stretch or a hug in. There's no hurry, but eventually coming to your right side and just having a breath or two there. And coming up to a seat and gently finding your meditation cushion or moving to a chair for our pranayama and meditation today. Gently becoming aware of the breath. Just taking one hand to the belly and feeling the gentle rise and fall of the belly breath. You're welcome to keep your hand here, or you can return it to your knee, your choice. And it's to remind us to keep the belly full as we breathe. And a really simple pranayama at first here. We're going to just breathe into the belly for a count of 6. And breathing out for a count of 6. So we're going to do it together. Breathing in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Out 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And 4 more on your own. Good, and then we're going to add, or we're going to extend the exhale. So it's going to be 6 in, 9, 8. Keep going in your own time. And then I'm going to offer you a choice. You can either stay with 6 in, 9 out, or you could try to extend to 6 in, 12 out, or really anything that works for you in between those two. So please be honest with yourself and where you're at. If we try too hard or we struggle, then we're not bringing calm. we're not bringing stability. So find that place that is true, that brings the most calm, the most cool, the most stable. Just going to do this around 4 or 5 more times. And just return to a natural breath for a moment. And then we're going to do a pranayama called bumblebee breathing. So in this one, you might want to watch it first while I demonstrate. We're going to cover the eyes and the ears. And we're using the thumbs to cover the ears, so the thumbs go in. And then we use the fingers of the hands to cover the eyes. So we're blocking out external stimulus. And then what we're going to do is breathe in, and as we breathe out, we hum. So it's going to sound something like this. My hum is quite long, I shortened it there, so your hum might not be as long, but we're going to do this 10 times. You're not really going to be able to hear me anyway, because you're going to be humming and blocking your own ears. But I'm going to do it 10 times, and we're going to do it together. When you've done your 10, hopefully we'll be in around about the same place. So blocking the ears, blocking the eyes, take a big breath in, and 10 hums. Turn to a natural breath. Great. And then we're going to do a negativity transforming kriya. So this requires us actually to let some of our anger and negativity arise, some of our rage or hurts or whatever it is. We're going to actually allow it to rise for a moment. So I want you to go ahead and feel this in your belly. Feel the emotion, let it come up, anything you're angry about or have rage about. I'm not going to get into the stories of anything, but just feeling it in the belly. And then we're going to gather that up and we're going to breathe it in up to the chest. In the chest, imagining blue. Even if you don't see the color blue, you might even need to say blue, blue, blue. Imagining blue at the chest, and this blue is stronger than the anger and the rage. And we're going to exhale it up and out of the body. Back to the belly, letting that rage or anger or negativity arise in the belly. Breathe it up into the chest. Hold the breath in. Picture or see or say blue. Blue, blue, blue. Blue stronger than the rage, transforming the rage. And then exhale it out of the body. Good. Pull the rage from the belly. Gather it up. Breathe it up into the chest. Hold it there. Transform it with blue, blue, blue. And exhale it out of the body. Gather it in the belly. Breathe it up into the chest. Hold it in the chest, transforming it with blue. Maybe now the opposites are starting to arise. Calmness, steadiness, maybe even joy. And then exhale out of the body. And again, keep going in your own, pulling it up from the belly into the chest. Blue. And exhaling it out. might notice the breath getting softer as you start to transform. Keep pulling any last remnants from the belly to the chest. Exhale them out of the crown. As the breath gets softer, perhaps it's just the energy that moves. Whenever you're ready, you can drop the technique altogether and simply sit with stability, calm, with joy. Gently come back to the feeling of the body on the floor, to the flow of your breath. And taking your palms together to touch at heart center. And offering the fruits of our practice to be of benefit to all beings everywhere. May the peace we cultivate inside of ourselves lead to peace for all beings. Namaste.